Maigalan, folks. Today we have an integral that looks quite daunting. This is the integral from 0 to 1 of the max over the positive integers n, or natural numbers n, of the floor of 2 to the n plus 1 times x over 2 to the n, minus the floor of 2 to the n times x over 2 to the n minus 1. Okay, cool. That is indeed fascinating. And this thing took me quite a while to solve, which means only one thing, that is, the solution development is going to be extremely cool. So let's get straight to it, but first let me unpack something. We're interested in the max over the positive integers n. What does that even mean? Well, we're interested in the max of this thing, which is a function of x. So what this integrand is saying is that fix a value of x, plug in all values of n, and then once you get that list of numbers, pick the biggest value. So that means the maximum value is going to be determined by values of x, and even better, intervals of x. We know that there are going to be intervals involved because of the floor function. So we're interested in intervals of x and values of n at the same time. So the first thing we should do, the logical thing that is to play around with the function f of x. This thing is defined as floor of 2 to the n plus 1 times x over 2 to the n minus floor of 2 to the n times x over 2 to the n minus 1. And immediately we notice that I could expand by 2 and introduce a common denominator. So we have floor of 2 to the n plus 1 times x minus floor of 2 to the n times x times 2 over 2 to the n. And this numerator is really interesting. Because we have floor of 2 to the n plus 1 times x equal to floor of 2 times 2 to the n times x, we may be tempted to write this as, since the floor function just returns the integer part, multiplying the argument by 2 should return twice the integer part, and that is reasonable. But that works only if the fractional part of your argument is less than 0.5 or 1 over 2. Because in that case, multiplying by 2 is not going to add anything to the integer part, but if this thing is greater than or equal to 0.5, multiplying by 2 gives you something greater than 1, and that's obviously going to be added to the integer part. You can test this out real quick for like 1.4 and 1.6. In other words, you can factor out the 2, but then add a correction term, epsilon, that of course depends on n and x, where epsilon sub n is either 0 or 1. It's 0 here and 1 when the fractional part is greater than or equal to 0.5. Okay, cool. And that is awesome because looking at this equation, we get floor of 2 to the n plus 1 times x minus 2 times floor of 2 to the n times x equal to epsilon sub n of x. And this implies that our function f of x is just epsilon sub n of x over 2 to the n, where epsilon is again either 0 or 1. But now the target integral looks like the integral from 0 to 1 of the max value of epsilon sub n of x over 2 to the n over the natural numbers n. And now we're interested in what are the values or intervals of x that actually make epsilon equal to 1. Now, because we're interested in intervals of x, we'd like them to be convenient. And by convenient, I mean that since epsilon sub n depends on the fractional part of this term 2 to the n times x, where 2 to the n is being multiplied by x, it would make sense to divide or partition this interval from 0 to 1 into intervals of the form 1 over 2 to the k to 1 over 2 to the k minus 1, with k being greater than or equal to 1. So I'm introducing another index k, which I'm going to try and relate to n later. Why so? That will become clear very soon. So this implies that I is now the sum over k of the integrals from 1 over 2 to the k to 1 over 2 to the k minus 1, terribly sorry about that, of the max over the natural numbers n of epsilon sub n of x over 2 to the n dx. Now, because x belongs to the interval between 1 over 2 to the k to 1 over 2 to the k minus 1, so that means that x is always less than 2 to the negative of k minus 1. But what does that mean for 2 to the n times x? Well, that would always be less than 2 to the n minus k minus 1. And what would that mean for various values of n? So for n being less than k minus 1, which implies that n minus k minus 1 is less than 0, and being less than 0 amongst the integers just means that you're less than or equal to negative 1. In that case, 2 to the n times x is always going to be less than 2 to the minus 1, which is again 1/2. So because this thing is less than 1/2, its fractional part is going to be, again, less than 1/2. So epsilon is going to be equal to 0 for such values of n. Okay, cool. And what about for the case of n being equal to k plus 1? Or n minus k minus 1 being equal to 0? Well, 2 to the n times x would be less than 2 to the 0, which is 1. But we do know that it's going to be greater than 1/2, because the only case where you get less than 1/2 is if you let n be less than k minus 1. So this thing could be less than or greater than or equal to 1/2, that is. So this implies that epsilon sub n of x would be equal to 1. Okay, cool. So wait a minute, that's n minus k minus 1. Terribly sorry about that. N should be equal to k minus 1 for the 0 to occur. And what about the case of n being greater than k minus 1? That may or may not work, but we don't care about that. The reason is that we're interested in the maximum value of epsilon sub n over 2 to the n. So just plugging in greater values of n would increase the denominator and hence decrease the value of the output. So we're not interested in n being greater than k minus 1, but we are interested in n equal to k minus 1. That would give us epsilon sub n equal to 1, and hence the maximum value of epsilon sub n of x over, terribly sorry about that, 2 to the n over the natural numbers n is actually equal to 1 over 2 to the k minus 1, where x belongs to the interval bound by 1 over 2 to the k and 1 over 2 to the k minus 1. Okay, cool. It's all coming together now. So this implies that I is the sum over k of the integrals from 1 over 2 to the k to 1 over 2 to the k minus 1. Again, terribly sorry about that. I'm just going to write them as dot, 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 dot. You know exactly what's over there. And the maximum value is 1 over 2 to the k minus 1. And this is, of course, independent of the index variable. It's actually independent of the variable of integration x. So that means we can just write this as 1 over 2 to the k minus 1 times the length of the interval, which is 1 over 2 to the k minus 1 minus 1 over 2 to the k. We can factor out 1 over 2 to the k minus 1 because that is just cool. 1 over 2 to the k minus 1 again. We're left with 1 minus 1/2, which is 1/2 these days, I guess. So that leaves us with wait, multiplying by 1/2, cancellation. 1 over 2 to the 2k minus 1, which is a geometric series, and that is absolutely beautiful because we know how to calculate a geometric series. I learned that just yesterday. So this thing equals the first term, which is 1 over 2 to the 1 over 1 minus the common ratio, which works out to k plus 1 minus 1. So that is 2k minus 1 times 2 squared, 1/4. So 1 minus a quarter, which is equal to 1/2 over 3/4, expanding by 4 yields 2/3 as the result of our monster floor or monster max floor integral, whatever you guys want to call it. This was absolutely awesome. I enjoyed solving this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Drop me a follow on Instagram as well. I post cool content there too. And you can never have too much math across social media. So yeah, thank you very much. Take care. See you next time.